I think I started playing golf at Jake Gaither Golf Course around 2005 or 2000, yeah, around 2005 is about when I started.
I think we took a trip to Canada up in 1995 to visit one of my old college roommates. And he came up and then he was like, well, I have some golf clubs, but I bought some new golf clubs. I had these old golf clubs that they had the wooden driver, cherry wood and all this. So I brought them back and I started hitting out here on around with them, and then I ran into Mr. Kilpatrick. He was like, well, you trying to learn how to play golf? And I was like, yeah. So he's like, okay, well, I have a little clinic that I put on Saturdays. If you come out and I'll teach you how to hit the club. So he gave me some things, some pointers, and that's kind of how I got started in golf around about 1995, 96. Met Mr. Kilpatrick, and we used to work with the area right over here behind the maintenance shed over there. Used to be the area where you would come out and everybody, he would, you'd go through and hit balls or whatever and hit clubs. And then at the end of the thing, he would take you out on the course for 1 or 2 holes just to teach you how to maneuver around the course. I know you can hit the ball over there, but what then really out there you gotta know how to hit the ball, and when you get on the green, when to putt, and how far to get up to the course with with your bag or whatever. You never put your bag on the green thing. That was just the etiquette of how to play golf. Cause once you hit the ball, there's still an etiquette you have to do out there, and that's what we were being taught. I think that got me into the golfer I am today is because of that startup with them. I guess it was somebody. It wasn't a pressure thing like, oh, you need to do this, you can't do that. It's just like, well, if you want to play the game, we'll teach you how to play it, and you can get some enjoyment out of it.
The ladies, they saw me out here struggling, trying to learn how to play, and Miss Perry, who happens to be my sorority sister, she was like, Kim, you gotta come out and join the ladies and we'll show you how to play golf. Okay, it was her and Willie Mae Jackson and Miss McKnight, who worked inside the pro shop, and oh my gosh, another one of my sorority sisters, Lorraine Barnes. So when the ladies from the Jake Gaither Golf Association invited me to come play with them and told me that they would teach me how to play, I was all in. That's how I actually started loving the game of golf, because of her and the ladies. They were just so sweet, and I started trying to come over here and play whenever I could. And so that's how I got started.
I got introduced to this 5Gs. I guess it was something started by the late Commissioner Charles Billing back in the 1990s. And it was said that he started because I guess some guys were out here playing or something, and they got accosted by some kids or something, and he was like, well, then the course was getting negative publicity, and so he came up with this idea that he would start a tournament, and it would call it like but he didn't want to make it a really golf tournament. He called it something like the 5Gs. So it's the Greater Gaither Golf Game Gathering, 5Gs. And the backdrop of it was he would try to make it a community event. So you would have a listed golfer, a B-listed golfer, a C-listed golfer, and a woman and a kid. Uh-huh. Back in the heyday of it, I guess that I came in, he started in 90, I guess it must have been between 2001 and 2008. We saw like heydays. We basically had like somewhere like almost 90 people. Like that's the most we could carry. We would have 2 holes. We'd have 2 teams on each hole. 90 people out here. Then as it goes on, we went between 90 people to 40 people, 30 people. But it was something that was annually, and like you said, it went on from like 90 up to like 2016.
And it was a fun tournament. I hope it doesn't go away. I hope we can bring it back, for the simple reason it gives everybody a chance to hit the ball. Everybody hits every ball or everything. Everybody gets to drive. Everybody gets to do the second shot, the third shot, and the putt.
And for that cost, I think it was a good value, and it was something we did yearly, and people look forward to coming out here in the first week of April, right around the Masters time, and playing the 5Gs.
I'm very excited that Jake Gaither is going to be a part of that historic commemorative. You know, it's wonderful because there are other black golf courses, and to know that this is one of them is just great, especially being right here in Tallahassee. Tallahassee is a historic city.